Throughout history, the world has known countless legendary warriors, from the invincible Achilles to modern-day heroes like American sniper Chris Kyle. These names are celebrated, and their stories are passed down through the ages. Yet, for every renowned fighter, there are numerous others whose bravery and sacrifice have faded into obscurity. Today, we will take a journey into the past to uncover the remarkable tale of one such forgotten hero, a man whose name may not be famous, but whose extraordinary deeds are etched in the annals of history. This is the soldier of three armies, a warrior whose legacy transcends borders and eras. Lauri Törni was a Finnish and American war hero. Born in the Viipuri province of Finland, Törni displayed remarkable athleticism from a young age. Törni's youth was marked by a strong sense of discipline and patriotism. Alongside his academic pursuits, he served with the Finnish Civil Guard, demonstrating his commitment to his country's defense. In 1938, driven by his sense of duty, Törni enlisted in the Finnish Army. His military career quickly took a turn as the Winter War erupted in November 1939 when the Soviet Union invaded Finland. Törni's enlistment was extended, thrusting him into the heart of the conflict. This period marked the beginning of Törni's military journey, one that would see him become a legendary figure in multiple armies, revered for his tenacity and skill on the battlefield. During the intense battles near Lake Ladoga, Lauri Törni distinguished himself by participating in the annihilation of encircled Soviet divisions at Lameti. This was seen as a historic victory for Finland, as more than 10,000 Soviet soldiers were eliminated, while the Finnish army suffered less than 900 casualties. Törni's exceptional performance on the battlefield did not go unnoticed by his superiors, who soon recognized his potential. As the Winter War drew to a close, he was selected for officer training. After the Winter War ended, Törni's military journey took him to Vienna in June 1941. Here, he underwent rigorous training with the Waffen SS and also earned his German equivalent rank. Törni's military reputation reached legendary status during the Continuation War. As hostilities started again between Finland and Russia, Törni was on the battlefield for a second time. In 1943, his leadership abilities led to the formation of Detachment Törni, an elite infantry unit under his command. This unit became known for its daring, deep penetration missions behind enemy lines, quickly gaining a formidable reputation on both sides of the front for its effectiveness in combat. Among those who served under Törni was Mauno Koivisto, a future president of Finland. Koivisto was part of a reconnaissance company commanded by Törni during the pivotal Battle of Ilomantsi. This was the last major engagement between Finnish and Soviet forces in the Continuation War, fought in the summer of 1944. Törni's unit inflicted such devastating losses on Soviet forces that the Soviet army placed a bounty of 3 million Finnish marks on his head, a testament to the threat he posed. For his extraordinary valor and leadership, Törni was awarded the prestigious Mannerheim Cross, the most distinguished Finnish military honor. But in September 1944, the Moscow armistice brought an uneasy peace to Finland, requiring the government to expel German troops from its territory. This led to the Lapland War, during which much of the Finnish army, including Lauri Törni, was demobilized. By November 1944, Törni found himself unemployed and uncertain about his future. In January 1945, Törni was recruited by a pro-German resistance movement in Finland. He left for Germany to undergo saboteur training with the intent of organizing a resistance movement in case Finland fell to Soviet occupation. However, the training was abruptly cut short in March. With no immediate way to return to Finland, Törni joined a German unit fighting Soviet forces. As World War II drew to a close, he surrendered to British troops. After a short time, he managed to escape from a British POW camp in Lübeck, Germany. Törni eventually made his way back to Finland in June 1945. However, his return was far from peaceful. The Finnish state police arrested him due to his continued involvement with the German military. Basically, by Finnish law, Törni was a traitor. After a daring escape, Törni was recaptured in April 1946 and faced charges of treason. His trial resulted in a 6-year prison sentence handed down in January of 1947. Imprisoned in the Turku provincial prison, Törni once again made a bold escape attempt but was recaptured and transferred to a more secure state prison. His fortunes changed in December 1948, when the Finnish president granted him a pardon, allowing Törni to regain his freedom. In 1949, Törni embarked on a daring journey to Sweden. He barely managed to cross the border and then traveled by train to Stockholm. Here, he found refuge with Baroness von Essen, a noblewoman known for sheltering fugitive Finnish officers. While in Sweden, Törni fell in love with Marja Kops, a Swedish Finn, and the two quickly became engaged. In search of employment and a new start, Törni assumed an alias and secured a position as a Swedish seaman aboard the SS Bolivia, bound for Venezuela. In Caracas, he encountered one of his former commanders from the Winter War, Finnish Colonel Matti Aarnio, who was living in exile. However, Törni's journey was far from over. In 1950, seeking greater opportunities, he stowed away on a Swedish cargo ship, which was headed for the United States. As the ship sailed through the Gulf of Mexico, near Mobile, Alabama, Törni made a bold escape, jumping overboard and swimming to shore. Now a political refugee, he made his way to New York City, where he found support from the Finnish-American community. There, Törni took on various jobs, working as a carpenter and cleaner to make ends meet. In 1953, however, Törni's perseverance paid off when he was granted a residence permit in the United States. Now, Lauri Törni's life was about to radically change once again. In 1954, Lauri Törni enlisted in the U.S. Army, adopting the name Larry Thorne. Törni found camaraderie and support among a group of Finnish-American officers who played a crucial role in helping him with his U.S. military career. With their backing, Törni joined the elite ranks of the U.S. Army Special Forces. Drawing on his extensive military experience, Törni became an instructor, teaching specialized skills such as skiing, survival, mountaineering, and guerrilla warfare tactics. All the things he learned while fighting against the USSR. Also, he trained rigorously, attending airborne school and eventually earning the rank of sergeant. In 1957, Törni's dedication was rewarded with U.S. citizenship, and he took the opportunity to further his career by attending the Officer Candidate School. Upon graduation, he was commissioned as a first lieutenant in the Signal Corps. Törni's military prowess and leadership did not go unnoticed, and in 1960, he received a regular Army commission, along with a promotion to captain. Between 1958 and 1962, he served with distinction in the 10th Special Forces Group, stationed in West Germany. During this time, he earned a formidable reputation, particularly when he served as second in command of a high-risk search and recovery mission in the Zagros Mountains of Iran, showcasing his exceptional skills in challenging conditions. Törni's remarkable journey from a Finnish war hero to a respected officer in the U.S. Army was even captured in a documentary series. Released in 1962, the episode of Phantom Fighters highlighted Törni's role as a lieutenant in the 10th Special Forces Group, underscoring his unique military career. But this was not the final stage of Lauri Törni's warrior story. In November 1963, now known as Captain Larry Thorne, he was deployed to South Vietnam. There, Törni was tasked with supporting the Army of the Republic of Vietnam in the escalating Vietnam War. He also served a second tour in Vietnam, from February 1965, with the 5th Special Forces Group. Törni later transferred to the highly classified Military Assistance Command Vietnam, where he served as a military advisor specializing in unconventional warfare. On October 18, 1965, during Operation Shining Brass, Törni was supervising a secret mission aimed at locating and destroying Viet Cong units along the Ho Chi Minh Trail. The mission involved 2 CH-34 helicopters and a Cessna forward air controller operating in treacherous weather conditions over a mountainous area. While one helicopter successfully dropped off a 6-man team, the helicopter carrying Törni disappeared without a trace as it waited above the cloud cover. Despite extensive search efforts, the crash site could not be located. Shortly after his disappearance, Törni was posthumously promoted to major and awarded the Legion of Merit, as well as the Distinguished Flying Cross, recognizing his extraordinary service. For years, his fate remained a mystery, until 1999, when a joint task force discovered his remains. After a repatriation ceremony at the Hanoi International Airport, Törni's remains were formally identified in 2003. On June 26, 2003, Törni was laid to rest with full military honors at the Arlington National Cemetery. His name was etched onto the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, a lasting tribute to his courage and dedication. Törni was survived only by his fiancée. She never saw the return of the man who had lived a life of remarkable heroism across multiple wars and continents. This was one of the world's foremost warriors, a man for whom fighting was not only a necessity, but also a skill which he had thoroughly mastered. Lauri Törni was one of the few who can truly be called a soldier of 3 armies. We hope you enjoyed this documentary. See you next time at Study of War.